More than 100 federal agents across 15 intelligence organizations were fired last week for participating in explicit sex chats on the NSA's exclusive messaging tool. The messages included conversations on male-to-female transgender surgery, polyamory, orgies, and laser hair removal. The chats were gross, and I wish I hadn't been exposed to them, but now that I have, you get to reap the benefits. Here's 2 things believers need to learn from the NSA's sex chats. Gender ideology, like a weed, spreads everywhere, and it takes intentional opposition to stop it. The American intelligence apparatus may seem like the last place that gender ideology could gain a foothold, but according to sources within the NSA, it's been growing for more than a decade. As activists got into positions of power, participation in gender ideology and diversity, equity, and inclusion programs became crucial to getting promoted or even getting hired. Gender ideology didn't proliferate in the intelligence apparatus because everybody loved it. It spread because a couple of people loved it and everyone else only posed passive opposition. This tells believers that gender ideology needs to be intentionally and repeatedly attacked to be uprooted. Remember that the next time gender ideology pops up in your school, your church, or your workplace. Gender ideology is inherently sexual. Gender activists swear up and down that gender ideology can be taught to children in age-appropriate ways. But at its core, gender ideology is a set of beliefs about sex and sexuality, and for better or worse, people with sexual disorders and deviancy find encouragement and affirmation within those beliefs. That's why, when gender ideology was allowed to proliferate unchecked within the intelligence apparatus, these chats descended into explicit topics. A large portion of the chats had to do with men's sexual satisfaction with undergoing medical transitions that made them look more like women. This is characteristic of a paraphilia called autogynephilia, which is characterized by a man's propensity to be sexually aroused by the thought of himself as a female. Academics believe as many as 3% of men in Western countries have autogynephilia, and that many men who identify as trans are motivated by this feeling. Bottom line, gender ideology is infectious and sexually twisted, and you don't want it anywhere near your family or your kids. For the Daily Citizen, I'm Emily Washburn.